always find this place one of poignant reflection and contemplation. So this is Taunton battlefield site. War of the Roses. And recorded as being the single biggest loss of life in one battle ever. That's a sobering thought. And it's not difficult to imagine the way that the land lies here. Two opposing sides on foot, on horseback, with what? Bows and arrows, swords, shields, javelins, whatever, doing battle to the death. For what? Well, the answer is there. Basically, two kings that fell out. Two people who had a different idea about what the world should look like. But in holding those ideas, I suspect, held little if any regard for the population, ordinary people. They wanted things their own way, and they were prepared to see their men die. For what? An idea? Of course, it chimes with what's happening today, and I'm not going to pull any punches. The conflict unfolding presently in the Middle East not only is de facto illegal, but will, like all Western interventions in that part of the world, end up with nothing more than a lot of dead civilians. Thousands upon thousands. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dead people. People like you and me, just trying to get on with life and do the best that we can. But having to meet a violent death at the hands of the Western powers. It's obscene. Don't get me wrong, the Iranian regime under the late Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was utterly brutal and murderous in its own right. But those views were formed in relation to Saddam Hussein back in 2003. And yet that conflict resulted in the loss of 1 million lives. Vastly more than ever the dictatorship itself in Iraq had brought about. unforgivable. And of course, that illegal venture on the part of a bloodthirsty American president was justified on the basis of the imminent deployment of weapons of mass destruction, chemical, biological, radiological and nuclear. And it turned out at the end of the day that it was all bullshit. It was all a pack of lies. It was confected, made up to justify what would otherwise have been completely unjustifiable. And that's exactly what's happening at the moment. Iran imminently about to acquire an atomic weapon. Benjamin Netanyahu has been saying that since the early 1990s. For 30 years, 3 decades, Iran is imminently about to acquire a viable atomic weapon. And in all those 3 decades, it's never happened. And it was never going to happen. But it might happen now, thanks to what they're doing. Such stupidity. In the United States at the moment, and I'm sorry if you're an American viewer, but this is an opinion channel, is just a senile, murderous old fool who hasn't got long left on this planet anyway, so probably isn't right bothered about the state that he leaves it in. And my suspicion is that he has embarked upon this war so willingly because it provides the perfect cover for some of the things that he may well have been doing in his past and which are yet to be revealed. What is it, still 3 million documents outstanding amongst the Epstein files? That'd be my guess. And of course his willingness to blindly follow Israel into this level of conflict suggests to me that they know something about him that he doesn't want us to know. And that's what you call leverage. And if thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of innocent people are fated to a violent death just to protect one sad, sorry man, then it seems that must come to pass. I'm not a big Bible basher, but there is the book of Revelation which talks about the end of the world and the beast. And I think, personally, that's what Donald Trump is. Him and his cowboy cabinet, who don't seem to have a strategic thought in their head. There is no plan. And he can't make his mind up. It's been all sorts so far, hasn't it? Preventing them getting an atomic weapon, that's the plan. No. Regime change, that's the plan. No. Taking out the missile batteries, that's the plan. No. Now, what's the plan? There isn't one. And therefore, chaos will unfold. In many theatres of military operation, as it did here all those hundreds of years ago. So, two old men, both pushing 80, determined to get their way, both determined to avoid indictment, impeachment, arrest, and ultimately imprisonment. That's where we're at. These hordes must perish to save two scrawny necks from facing justice. And of course, they will never be trusted again, certainly by anybody in the Middle East, in terms of their approach to negotiations, because it is clear that the negotiations were just cover, were just a vehicle upon which to achieve a surprise attack. Right at the point when it is widely reported that the Iranians were prepared to undertake not to further enrich any more uranium. So yeah, negotiations were not at the point of failure, not remotely, but still they went in. So you can see that this was a plan which was hatched many months ago. And I tell you now, we're all going to pay a price for this globally, because as the weeks go by, the knock-on effects in terms of the cost of living, certainly across the Western world, will start to take the toll, because there is nothing on this planet, nothing, be it food, infrastructure, medicines, housing, all of the essentials of life are dependent in one way or another upon oil. The oil price is already soaring towards $100 a barrel. No doubt it will go way beyond there, and therefore the cost of everything but everything will spike in an environment which is already racked with unaffordability for most ordinary working people. All because of two old men who are trying to dodge justice. Will they ever learn?